Hello again, Slopers. This is Brian Johnson with thestockmentor.com and want to do another video for you. It's been a little while. Tim, I do apologize. Been working with students the last week, so have not had time to really do a lot of contributions, and I do apologize for that. However, obviously what we've seen from the other guest contributors is outstanding as always. So I will throw in my 2 cents with something new. First of all, I want to turn your attention to the Dow. I'm going to drop this volume down a little bit for this. As you can see, we've been working on this channel for a while. Each test of this upper trend line has been turned backwards. And I do think that we will see the exact same thing again this time. Once again, it's just a matter of time. Here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests before finally moving down, about 5 tests back here. So we're looking at about a week in between each of these tests. This will probably end up being the same. What could be different? Well, one of the things that could be different is maybe we get a move up and even a close above this upper trend line. That would certainly add to the bullish feel in the markets and maybe draw some extra bulls in, allowing the institutions time to get out at even a better level up here as they're distributing their shares. But one of the other thing that was brought to my attention was this. Let's move over to a SPY chart. And I'm going to move this volume up a little bit. That will become pertinent here in a second. And that is, yesterday it was brought to my attention by a lot of people that here we had a big move up in the markets, and at one time we had a really big fat white candle forming before pulling back a little bit in the afternoon to leave that wick on top. Then, of course, you have to notice the volume down here, and the volume was basically a lot larger than what it has been for quite a while, making a lot of people think that we could be soaring to new heights in a continued up move for quite a while. And so I decided to do a little video and show you that it is important to take this in context. Yes, you have a nice candle. It is a white candle. It is an up candle, and you do have a lot of volume behind it. But if we break it down, are we seeing what we're really seeing in the markets? So let me move now to a different chart. Okay, so what we are looking at here is a 1 minute SPY chart from yesterday. And as you can see, price obviously moving up. Volume down here is something to take note of. This black line I drew in here to show you kind of a good, fair, what I believe to be a good, fair average for the volume during the course of the day. And so, of course, you have a few bars above it, you have a few bars below it, but I think on average this is a pretty fair indication of the average volume for the course of the day. And as you can see, it stays pretty much along this line. Now, I guess what I have not shown you is as price is moving up, we're looking at this volume here. Some of you may have noticed this already. The rest of you have not, maybe. But let me show you this. As we move this to the right, I was not showing you all of the data. This only goes up until what would be 1 p.m. my time. It's 3 p.m. actually, Eastern time. So there is still an hour's left of trading. And watch what happens as we slide this to the right. Watch the little black bar. And as you see, that changes quite significantly as we move to the end of the day. So now we're into Tuesday. Let me back this up 1 bar. As you can see, the little black bar now is not really at an average. There's quite a bit more of above average volume pouring into this move. And where did this happen? About the last hour of the day, starting from about 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. You can see in this move to the downside is when a lot of volume started to pour into the markets. This was when we made our wick. So we were at the very top of our candle right here. As you look to the left, you can see that smaller average volume, but as we started to create that wick and move down, that is when we started to see a majority of the volume move in. We can also go back to the middle of the day and see this big bunch of volume here also happened when the price moved down in the markets, not when it moved up. So by taking a look at the bigger picture, you can see that a lot of the volume that we saw from yesterday came in towards the middle of the day on a move to the downside and towards the end of the day on a move to the downside. This scenario here plays perfectly with one of the posts that was just on slope by Biffermus. I hope I got that right. I'm sorry if I just slaughtered your username. But as you can see here, the red line is, of course, the markets as they are today. This is his indication of the smart money moving out of the markets. Down here, we do see the red line being the markets, while the blue line is the quote-unquote dumb money moving into the markets. This would play perfectly with that particular scenario. As the markets move down, you see distribution by the smart money, handing off money and their shares to the dumb money, which is very common, and it's a lot of what I believe we've been seeing over the past few weeks, actually. I've seen it in quite a bit of the charts that I've looked at as well. So this was a brilliant post. Very happy to see this post here. So once again, if we go back, keep your eye on this. I'm going to zoom out now to show you all of the data. I had to do a 2-day 1 minute because we are now into Tuesday's trading. But as you can see right here, a majority of the volume came in towards the end of the day. That was on the wick side of the candle, as opposed to in the beginning of the day when there was still decent volume, but yet we were moving to the upside. Here is that move to the downside, more volume again, less volume as we move up, tons of volume as we move down. Once again, I believe that is an example of distribution at this point. Not clear to me yet whether or not this top is actually the top. I do believe we have maybe one more push left in us before we actually make that next top and then get a more sizable pullback in the markets. This action here looks actually bullish to me. It appears we are making a bull flag or a falling wedge. Either one of them is a bullish action. So do not be surprised in a move to the upside either later today or early tomorrow that maybe pushes us back up above these highs. But the thing to remember is that as we're looking at those daily candles and you see lots of volume on one candle, sometimes it helps to break it down to a 1 day, 1 minute, and really dive into where the volume's at and what you're seeing. Don't be fooled. A lot of times you'll see equal volume in the morning and equal volume in the afternoon. That is very common, but that is not what we see here. We see a minimal amount of volume in the morning with a lot of volume in the afternoon, and that is showing me that there is still a lot more interest to the downside than there is to the upside. Once again, risk is to the upside, not to the downside in your trades. If you are trading to the upside, great. I would only suggest you do it on an intraday basis, though, at this point, and be very careful about swing trades and any longer term holds to the long side. Because as we see this, it would be a warning sign to me that there is some distribution going on by the smart money, passing off shares to the dumb money that is late to the party at this point. So I hope you found this somewhat educational. Hope you found it useful. Please don't use it in the wrong context, and that is do not look at the end of a day. It is very familiar terms to say that the amateurs trade the morning and the professionals trade the last hour. That is very true in most cases, but don't look at the last candle of a day and see a bunch of up volume on it, like we see here, and then say, oh, the direction's definitely up tomorrow. Please use it in the context of which it's meant, and that's look at the overall volume over a span of time. And that will give you a much better idea of what really happened during that day, regardless of white or red candles and big volume bars. Keep that in mind going forward, and I'll be back with you again, hopefully soon, with a new video. Bye.